Shalom and welcome to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. This is Meditation and Mindfulness with Rabbi Adam Kligfeld.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to those who are in my office in Los Angeles. Good morning to those who are on Zoom. Hello to anyone who's listening to this on Facebook Live, and hello to anyone who might be listening to this later on the Temple Beth Am podcast series. And hello, Paddington. My first time doing this in quite a while. I would have wanted to return last week, but I had COVID, and so I wasn't in shul, and so Rabbi Chorny did it instead. And I've missed meditating with all of you, and frankly missed the discipline of ensuring that I get to meditate Friday mornings, because sometimes leading a meditation is a guarantee that I'll meditate, and it's not always easy to maintain your own commitment to your own disciplines. I'll tell you what I've been noodling on this week in Parshat Pinchas. It's one of the things that's almost always catches my eye, and it catches many commentators' eyes, so I'm not alone. At some point I should move to other parts of the Parsha as well. But it's so striking, and every year it hits me in a different way. And that is that when Pinchas, so the deed for which Pinchas is given this Parsha's name is the end of last week's Parsha, this kind of zealous act of striking against the whoring and licentiousness that the Midianites brought upon the Israelites, and the Israelites probably accepted. That was the end of last week, but since his name appears in the opening line of this week's Parsha, it's called Parshat Pinchas. And in this week, God gives Pinchas the reward, and it's just a few verses of text. The rest of the Parsha has nothing to do with Pinchas. But that's the way the Parsha would get named. And as many of you know, the reward that God gives Pinchas is Briti Shalom. Briti, my covenant, my promise, my oath, my bond with you of Shalom. It's good to remember that whatever Shalom meant in the biblical realm, it can't possibly be fully encapsulated by the English word peace. Every word means something different in every language, even if you think it's a good translation. Just like Tov, there's no way that when God saw the world and after God created it and said Vayhi Tov, it has the same meaning as when an English person says, yeah, it's good, right? Like we translate Tov as good, but something is lost in the translation, even if it's the right translation. So we should probably deal with the word shalom in and of itself without translating it into our English connotations of peace. Shalom is built from shalem, which means fullness, completion, right? Kaddish shalem is the full Kaddish. It's not a peaceful Kaddish, it's a full Kaddish. Many commentators have asked why that was the particular blessing given to Pinchas, because whatever Pinchas was, he didn't seem particularly peaceful, right? You might even argue that he didn't even seem particularly complete. Anyone who has to take that kind of a violent act is lacking something. Maybe that's a postmodern take, I don't know. But if you go through that route, then people would say that what Pinchas got from God is not what he had earned, but what he needed. Right? I'm giving you my covenant of shalom because you don't have enough of it yet, not because you are a person who exemplifies it. Okay. But the other thing that is true about that shalom is that when you look in the Torah, the vav of the word shalom is cut in half, literally. So when you write it as a scribe, it looks like the scribe took a machete and sliced the vav vertically. So there's a bottom half of the vav and the top half of the vav. We don't know why. It's kind of like the small and big letters in the Torah. Was this a scribal error 2,800 years ago that got canonized? Is it a way of saying, like, whatever you think that the shalom is that Pinchas got, it's not? We don't know. But one of the things that sits with me this week is that brokenness of the vav of that shalom is not specific to this moment, but to all moments. And maybe it's a wink to all of us that there is no shalom that is shalem. There's no peace that is complete. No one is bestowed by God or by anyone else an enduring, ongoing sense of shalom or sense of shalem that doesn't have some brokenness in it, and that it would be fool's gold to think that anyone, Pinchas or us, would actually get from God shalom. It's a reminder that it's okay to note that your shalom is truncated. It's okay to accept the fact that there are constraints to our feeling of peacefulness and fullness. But in the meditative mode, and that's where I'm going with this, you can explore perhaps the contours of your consciousness that can lead you to more completion. Right? So what I want us to meditate on is, where is our vav broken, and what is in our capacity to try to fuse those two parts of the vav together. We're never going to get to be all the way, but there might be things that we can do that bring us closer to shalom, closer to shalom. So with that in mind, if you haven't already, I invite you to close your eyes. And just to descend into the luxury of this moment. Whatever happens the rest of the day, this moment is for you, and no one can take it from you. Hold your body firm but supple, using all the muscles to keep your back straight and your head high, and let everything else descend, relax, and give in to gravity. Try to do with sounds the same thing you'll do with thoughts. They're going to come. Just send them to the periphery, as if there's a magnet, an opposites magnet. Whenever that sound or a new thought that you don't want comes your way, it's immediately dispatched. The quiet of this moment is a broken quiet, like the broken vav in the shalom. Picture the word shalom in your mind, if you can picture it in the Hebrew letters. Just see it. You've seen it many times in your life. See the shin with the three arms, and the lamed reaching up, and the boxy final mem at the end, and the simple vertical line of the vav. And picture it sliced through, which is what you would see if you looked in the Torah scroll. And let that vav slice through be a window into where your shalom is incomplete, where your peace is lacking. And using the great power of your mind, try to bring it together. Close the gap. Heal the vav. Make the incomplete more complete. It need not be perfect for it to be better. The slice will always reappear. The vav made whole will not last. There will always be limitations on your shalom. And you are always capable of working towards healing it and completing it. You can descend to the surface. I'll share the closing meditation prayer. You have it in front of you too. We can say it together. May we and all beings have happiness in the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering in the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness in the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering in the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness in the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering in the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. I wish you all a shalom. Namaste. Shabbat shalom. Work on that vav.
You have been listening to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. If you enjoy these podcasts, we invite you to write a review on the Apple Podcast site or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Temple Beth Am Los Angeles, go to tbala.org.